pact once broken, forged anew.
Did you want waffles?
Good morning. just barely caught Junie singing the theme music there.
It's always you too.
It is. I was
It's
I
always
was
you.
so silent. For those of you who aren't just sitting in the room with us during our like pre-show stuff, the moment there is like that intro music running, it is just me like doing like really bad.
That's all I hear.
For
I don't
the
hear the actual
entire-
theme
yeah.
song. I've heard him do it more.
Because it plays into my end with the like producer side of it, but it doesn't play into the call, so yeah, it's a process. Welcome to the show. It is Monday, which means new week. Welcome.
Okay, because I was about to say, I was like, oh, we have a Monday thing. What's Monday's?
Yeah.
What's the Monday thing?
It's Monday, which means we get to do all of our Monday bits. Welcome to the show, everybody. This is Warlocks and Waffles, the only TTRPG morning show, until someone challenges us. Accepting challengers.
I want to just start saying the only TVTR show, and then like period, never gonna change. It's been
It's been so long that no challengers have appeared.
The ink is dry. It's been chiseled into the sidewalk. What is it? The sidewalk hall. God damn it! I'm not awake.
Junie is currently asleep. What you are seeing is my pre-recorded version of Junie.
I don't believe in those kind of pants. You said pre-recorded, and I was like, "Oh, what's the conversation I'm really having?"
Junie, can you just give us a quick insight into what type of pants those would be that you don't believe in?
Combination of
be very careful. This is gonna be held against you forever. Whatever you say right now.
Okay, we've all seen like pants, like they're like windbreakers, but they like zip away to turn into like shorts. And
Yes.
I've seen them where they kind of have more than one break. Like it's almost like they turn into capris and
Or
then
shorts, yeah.
shorts. And then I don't think that there should be more breaks anywhere.
That you don't
'Cause
think
if
there
it's
should
like-
be more breaks, like more breaks than the one that it zips off into shorts,
But then the two, the one
that you
below
don't
the knee and the
believe that
one
there should
below.
be- okay.
I don't think there should be like what capris or shorts. I guess you could not be certain, but it's like if you're gonna go like, no, I just want a high water, and then I want capris, and then I want shorts. Now I want Daisy Dukes. This is a thong now. Like how many zippers? Like it looks like a rave pants, like zippers, but they're actually like to modify the height of your pants. I don't believe in that. And you know what? Cancel me. If you think that you should have that many options with your windbreaker pants, that they should be able to incrementally go up, I think that's dumb. Personally, that's just me. I'm coming in hot today. I'm coming
I
in with
just-
a hot take right now.
I just want to go on
It's
the
just me.
record. I just want to go on the record that the views of Junie do not represent the views of the show. If you like your stupid zip away pants, you're
just
still
called them
welcome here.
stupid.
Hey, my
That-
views do not also represent the views of the show.
My views, your views, they don't actually represent the show. Like, this is a good thing to say right now in case
yeah.
one of us does something stupid.
Yeah, the brand is stronger than either of us. Welcome
to Warlocks and Waffles.
welcome to
and it's
Warlocks
like
and Waffles,
two
and it's
different
just
people. Oh god! It's Rosie and Gabe. It's just not even us. It's
Yeah.
just like two different people are doing it.
oh my goodness.
Oh my god!
You just log into Twitch one day and watch Warlocks and Waffles, and it's just like Elmo and like SpongeBob are just sitting here, and you're like, I don't know what this crossover is, and they're just like, welcome to Warlocks and Waffles, the only TTRPG morning show, and you're like, oh,
You need to do one of those two characters. You can't just say those two specific characters and not do something for either one.
damn it, give me.
I'm like you choose. I'm not.
It's too early.
We're starting so strong.
Yeah, welcome to the show, guys. Oh man, I can do this. I just need to not laugh through it is the problem.
I won't do anything to make you laugh.
Welcome to Warlocks and Waffles, the only TTRPG show.
That was really good.
Thank you.
The mic decided that that something was wrong.
Oh, I cut it out.
No. In the top end, it did started coming in, but then it sounded like that, like it was a little further. Like it was like, oh, whatever that is, we want to keep that at bay.
Right.
And it really tried to keep it at bay, but we heard it. It was very good. It was objectively good.
It was like don't let this whatever this creature is into the stream. It's clearly an invasive species.
Elgato's it's just like, do everything to keep it at bay. The sensors are like trying to alternate very hard to just keep everything going smoothly.
Just a bunch of tiny little robots running around inside the XLR thing. Welcome to Warlocks and Waffles. This is a TTRPG morning show, as I'm sure you know. Welcome to the stream. Junie, how was your weekend?
It was rainy.
It was gross here too. It was like all weekend.
I'm discovering more and more, and it's adorable, but it's a nightmare. After the fact, my child loves puddles. Like they're fun. But when I didn't have to worry about like seeing kid playing puddles, that's cute. But then like me, I have to then like change a wet squiggly kid, and I that sucks.
A wet
squiggly
kid.
And you know what's depressing? Like just telling a small child like puddles, jumping, and then goes like no, and then look at you like you were just like, oh, you hate
You're a monster.
me.
Yeah.
You are
This is a
just
personal attack.
the worst. You hate me. And it's only and for over something small, not like like, oh, I'm you can't go to college, like you can't do this. Like, no, it's just something like you can't jump in that dirty mud water right now because I don't want to deal with it. And then you can't logic it out. You know what I mean? Like, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? Are they gonna argue with them? So it is just that fine line of when it rains, I have to try to keep my kid from looking out a window. And it sounds more depressing. It sounds more and more depressing the more I think about it, where it's just like, ooh, rain. And then it's just like, no, don't look. It looks too fun. It looks too fun out there. My kid sees rain and doesn't think gloom, which is good. But then I have to then go, oh no, it's not too fun.
Right.
I need to ride that fun line of like make outside depressing when it's gloomy. You don't want to go out there, but it is Guys, the coffee's not kicking in.
You've
You've
realized you're in the gutter spiral right now. You're like,
yeah.
ripcord, get me out of here. Hunter, how was your weekend?
It was rainy here. What was it like for you, Hunter?
It was also rainy. I
have to not let my cats outside to get not depressed. Like it's the same thing.
No, my dog is well aware that if it is raining, it's gross out, and he doesn't want to go out there. My dog decided to take a poop on the porch instead of going out into the rain this weekend. He walked outside, took 4 steps from the door, saw that it was raining, took a shit on the porch, and then came back inside. He is a grumpy old man. But yeah, it was a good weekend. Grace had stuff that she was doing all weekend, so I was just kind of at home doing stuff. We only have the one car right now, so my dad lent me one of his cars so that I can do like errands and stuff over the weekend, which was nice. Got to run out and just get out of the house for a little bit, do some shopping, go grocery store, all that sort of stuff.
I was gonna give it to you, but I was just like, I don't want to lay up this. It's like, did you go anywhere? Did you go any store in particular? Did you pick up anything good?
I went to the grocery outlet bargain market.
I have a button for it though. Like we just at this point, it's been more than 3 times. That's button worthy.
They really should sponsor the show. I give them so much free advertising.
Sponsorship. Yeah.
Yeah. It's all been the long con. Yeah. That'd be such a weird sponsorship. Welcome to Warlocks and Waffles, brought to you by Grocery Outlet Bargain Market.
It's not the furthest stretch. Now that oh my god.
Oh man, I do buy waffles there quite often.
I'm sure they sponsor like softball teams and stuff like that, and we like make it like $50. I think they'd do it.
We could put it. I would accept payment in gift cards. Like I'll just take food. Welcome to the show, guys. I don't know if you can tell. It's a weird morning. Both Junie and my brains are weird, so it's gonna be a day.
Last tangent before we go into this.
I don't believe you, but go on.
Last one. Both Junie and my brain.
Mm-hmm.
As if it was
I said brains.
An out of body experience where you just go like these assholes. It's just like I'm not doing the wrong thing. It's them.
To clarify, it would be incorrect grammar to say that both Junie's and mine, like brains. It's both Junie and my brains. That is correct.
I'm an idiot.
So anyway, Junie and my brains are weird, and so welcome to the show. Today, we're talking about that thing that you either love or you hate, that you either have good or bad, that you blame all your problems on and praise your successes for. We're talking luck.
Whoa, that could have gone a lot of different ways.
Could have gone a lot of different ways. It only went to one. Well, we are talking about luck today. Everybody, I feel like, has had that experience where they're at the table, they're playing games, they're doing their various roles, and they get into like a hot streak, and they're just like, yeah, another nat 20, awesome, another one, like just rolling so well, all through that session. And then everybody has also had that experience where they can't roll above a 5, and it's like you're defying logic, I should just law of averages, I should roll better at some point, and you won't. You're just rolling garbage. Junie, do you have a in your head, do you have a story of either a really lucky experience at the table or a really unlucky experience at the table?
I have a personal, like, real lucky for me as a player, a story
Okay.
that I know that it's happened to me. Um, and it was just a character where I built them like whenever it's like a one shot, I do like point buy and I just do three max, three min. Like so, like
Mhm.
I'll just like three. They're good at the three things, and then roll it. So like I did my actor character where it was like charisma, intelligence, wisdom. Everything else was a dump stat. So they
Mhm.
were physically garbage, but they were good in all these other areas. And fighting frost giants used healing word, and then the DM at the time, the DM reminded me, DM healing word's a bonus action, but then you can't cast a spell as your action because you need to use a cantrip, right?
Yeah.
If you use like
Yeah,
a
the
spell, you can't. You got to do something smaller, right?
yeah, a lot of GMs use that rule.
Yeah. So I was like, well, I have a dagger and I'm gonna chuck it. And I was like, okay, well, it's a -2. You know, I'm negative strength. And it's like, no, you do strength or dexterity. And I was like, oh, I'm negative in both.
Yeah.
And she said, well, what are you? And I said, I'm an actor. And it was a nat 20. It was very lucky because I had negative stats in both, and the attack was and then it was like max damage minus
Mhm.
whatever. But the thing only had like 2 hit points. It was just the combination of like I should not be able to succeed, and I did.
Yeah.
And what lucky for me, unlucky for everybody else was it was one of those oblivious characters where they were gonna like inflate themselves and make it seem like, oh yes, thanks to me. But
Yeah.
then in this instance, it was that.
Yeah.
So it was just like the luck of like, oh, he's actually gonna believe that this because it did happen. Um, and it was definitely like that. It sucks to say it like this, but like I wish I had like all my friends there because it's like it's just one of those like
I
it's just
wish it
like
I wish it was on a stream so that I could like show off the
yeah, you know what I
highlight.
mean?
Yeah.
Like clip it and just show everybody. It's just like everybody's clapping in slow mo. We're all like jumping in a circle.
This is my business card now. Is I just hand you a flash drive with the the MP4 file of that
Yeah.
happening on it.
Like it was like one of my happier TTRPG moments that I
Yeah.
wish I had like more people to share it with in the moment. But it was just like it was one of those. It felt sweeter because I had odds stacked against
Right.
me,
Yeah.
and then to
You were-
get through it. You know
You
what I
were
mean?
destined to fail and then you didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's that, and then I just go through a lot of my dice rolls tend to be really bad,
Mhm.
a lot on the GM side,
Okay.
which is good for my players a lot of times because then it's
Right.
like they'll get away with things, they'll get lucky, whatever the situation is. And if I were to like laws of average it, like if that was just how I rolled, I would hate playing constantly, because it's all I roll under 10 a whole lot on
Yeah.
but I'm also rolling a lot, so you know what I
Right.
mean. But one solid player one, because you don't have to roll as much. But as a GM, I'm rolling a lot,
Mhm.
and I see more negatives, like more bad things than good, as far as that's concerned. But what about you? Do you feel like you have a player or DM or GM story that like sticks out to you?
I tend to roll relatively well. I roll I feel like I roll better than average. Especially when it comes to like rolling stats for a character. I almost always roll incredibly well. Like there I don't know if you remember when we did the Humblewood stream.
Mhm.
The character that I built for the Humblewood stream, I like built the character, it was good to go. I was very excited for it, got it all set up and everything.
I do remember this.
Uh and like rolled my stats and was like, these stats are far too good. Like it will not be fun for me to play as this character if I play these stats, because there's no flaws. There's nothing, like, this is a godly character. And I had I think 3 18s, and I think my lowest stat was like a 15 or a 16. Like it was insane. It is easily the best stats I've ever rolled.
If I remember correctly, didn't you like nerf him twice?
I feel like
there was another instance of you going like, he's too good. Can I also do this? I feel like there was another instance of like, my guy's too OP. I need to really put some weights on his legs.
I did absolutely choose when I multi-classed him. I multi-classed him into this like homebrew warlock thing. And the homebrew had like a couple of things that were meant to like be kind of a roguey warlock, but I was already a rogue as my main class, and so they kind of like duplicated stuff, and I was like, yeah, like that's it is what it is. Like I'll just don't double those up. And the GM ended up like giving me some other stuff and to make up for that, which I was like, that's cool. But like I don't need it. But yeah, the stats I nerfed, I re-rolled him completely. And then the stats were still really good, and I was like, I don't want to just roll it again, because they weren't as good as the first one, but I didn't have any like low stats, and I really like having like a low stat or two. And so I I asked Frank if I could if he would let me, something I've done with my players is I will let them sell points of like, I do want a really good dex and a really good charisma, because like I'm playing this kind of like swashbuckler rogue type. But like I want other things to be bad. And so I've let my players, like I'll give them a ratio of like 2 to 1 or 3 to 1, and be like, okay, if you take 3 points away from one of your stats, you can put a point into a different one. And so I ended up, I think, I can't remember if Frank had me do 2 to 1 or 3 to 1, but I ended up selling like 9 points of my stats in like strength and intelligence and wisdom, and was just like, I'm gonna bring all of you way down. Like I want hit points, I want to be able to like move, and I want to be able to talk, and that is all I need. But yeah, it was that was fun. My dad had a character that anytime I think about like lucky dice, I always think about this character. He had a character who their rogue had gone down, and they found this like the door to the vault that they had been trying to like locate, and so they like couldn't get past that door because they didn't have the rogue who was like good at lockpicks. And so my dad asked the DM if he could try and pick the lock with a dagger. And his DM was like, yeah, like you can try. You're not a rogue, and like this isn't a lockpick. This is an insane try. I'll say you have a 1 in 100 chance. Roll a percentile. If you get 100, you will successfully pick this door. And my dad's like, okay, and he rolls the dice and got 100, and so he like picked this lock with a dagger, and the DM immediately gave him 1 level in rogue.
That's always good. That's always fun.
It's such a fun, fun switch.
One roll changes your whole fate into like you are now this.
You like he could have continued going into other stuff, but you do get 1 level of rogue now because like you are destined to be able to do this better. But yeah, it was so good. I love that story so much. I've also, on the other end of the spectrum, because we've talked a lot about good rules, I had a player who was a halfling with the lucky feat, who had two he had 2 luck points left, was making death saves, had 1 failed death save already, rolled his second death save, rolled a nat 1, was like, okay, it's fine, I'm a halfling. Reroll ones, rolled another one, rolled it again, rolled another 1, was like, I'll burn a luck point, rolled a third 1, and then was like, burned my other luck point, burned the other luck point, fourth 1. Rolled 4 1s in a row, and it was like, the dice have decided you are dead. Like,
Here's
there's
something that
nothing you can do to
I'm gonna
make
touch
this
on this.
better.
Like, I feel like I'm gonna touch on this more than once. Was that physical? Like
That
physical
was
dice?
physical dice.
Now here's the thing. I didn't know until I was like over a year or so into like, you know, TTRPGs and learning about dice goblins and stuff like that, but like how dice can be weighted improperly.
They can
I
be
know
weighted
I've
improperly.
heard of
yes.
loaded dice. That's different than like it's just an air
It's just-
bubble.
yeah, it's just something different
An air
in
bubble
the-
will
in the
make
die.
it
Yeah.
lean towards something more.
Yeah.
And then it's like, so lucky dice are sometimes like, oh, well, is that fair type of thing? You know what I mean? Like, that's unfair in this specific instance. Is that person just like, do they know? Do they realize?
So-
Or do they think they're unlucky? Lucky? Because I get real bad rolls digitally a lot. And so I'm like, that's me. That's my soul. I'm destined to get this.
100%. So
You know?
here's the thing, because I absolutely agree. Like, I've absolutely had dice where I was like, this die is clearly weighted towards bad.
The balance is a little, yeah.
Like, I just won't use that die anymore. In that situation, he rolled the nat 1. He was like, that sucks. Halflings, reroll 1, rolls again. When that second 1 came up, he was like, oh my goodness, like, I'll use a luck point, and used a different D20.
Okay.
Rolled
Alright.
another
Wow.
1, threw that D20 away, and grabbed a third like, he used 3 D20s, 2 luck points, and halfling lucky, and rolled 4 1s in a row. It was the most like, oh, you're doomed. Like, you are destined for
I wouldn't
death
want to
here.
sit next to them. I wouldn't
Yeah.
want to sit next to them. At
It was
that
a
point.
very like the Will Wheaton dice curse of like,
yeah. Like,
of
that
like,
sounds,
ooh,
that sounds not good.
you may have tainted the table. Yeah, that was that is the least lucky I have ever seen anyone be. Of like, you already have a 1 death save that is failed. You rolled the nat 1, and then you used 3 resources to try and like change that, and couldn't change it from a nat 1. Like,
Yeah, no, that's
the
that's
odds
rough.
of it happening is insanely small. Yeah, unluckiest person I've ever seen roll those dice.
So that's
yeah.
just luck, full blown us rolling for
Yeah.
something to happen. But when you approached me about like talking about luck, like you specifically, I know there are games that have luck systems
Sure.
in place where it's just like it's not just rolling, it's rolling and then aiming potentially for this specific thing. Because a lot of times it's that scale of like higher good, lower bad, but then
Mhm.
other times there's like you're aiming for something specific because it's not always just higher good. But you're working on a like a luck system, right?
So I have a luck system for my my new campaign that I'm starting up. Yeah, I am. I had all of the players roll like before we've done any character creation or anything like that. I have a few different like additional things that I had them roll for, but like we haven't actually built any characters yet. But I had them roll just these rolls. And one of them is luck. One of them is just the like the luck that you possess. Some people are luckier than others. And so for luck, I just had them roll a flat d20 to determine how lucky this character is. And then that has additional effects. I also had them roll for influence, which is like how much weight does your name carry? Like if you drop your name, will people like know that name and be like, oh, okay, so that you can like add additional stuff in there to like, okay, I want to like put some pressure here. And then I had them roll for wealth to determine how much like starting funds and equipment and stuff like that they were going to start with. And then I had everybody roll, because this is going to be kind of a weird. I really enjoy messing with magic systems and like making magic a little bit weird. So this campaign's going to be a little bit weird about magic. But I had everybody roll for their magic potential, which is just like how like everybody is capable of using magic for the most part. But like some people are going to be just naturals. Other people are going to have a really hard time like using magic. Some people just aren't cut out for it. And so I had everybody roll for their magic potential as well to see what that would look like. It was a very interesting like spread across all of the characters of like some people have like really like there's one or two people that have like really really high wealth but like not crazy high influence, so like they have a lot of like money but their name doesn't really carry any weight behind it. We've got two people that have just garbage influence, where like their name will actively work against them if it is dropped. There are two people that have just absolutely insane like magic potential, where it's like they're almost definitely some sort of sorcerer or something like that. And then luck kind of ranged all over the place as well. There's a couple people in the middle, a person at the like the bottom, somebody way at the top. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. But yeah, my goal with the luck system was essentially to be like, I don't know if this is something you do. I have often asked for my players for like just give me just a straight luck check. Like just roll a d20.
Oh yeah, I just want to see how this can play out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I just
I don't call it that, but that's all it equates to. Yeah.
Yeah.
Essentially, like I just want to see. Yeah.
Yeah, I call for a like a straight luck check all the time of like, yeah, roll a flat d20 for me, like let's see what happens. Like this is just to determine if this is a thing that's possible, of like a player being like, I want to see like I know it's a long shot, I want to ask around this bar and see if anybody like knows where this hidden temple is. And it's like, yeah, like I haven't planned for there to be anybody here, like so there it's not just a like I know there for sure is a person here. This is a like there might be, like roll a luck check. If you're really lucky, maybe there is somebody here who does know where that thing is. And so my thought process behind this system was like, this is a like some people are naturally more lucky than others. Like I know some people who are like the luckiest people in the world. I know other people who are like, man, luck does not like you. Like luck deleted your phone number.
This is unfortunate.
Yeah, you are actively being avoided by luck. And so just a system for that, essentially, of like if I ask for a luck check, like some people are going to have a luckier time than others. Just like any other stat, like if I ask you to be to like jump across a ravine, the barbarian's going to have an easier time than that little like gnome wizard. Like luck is a resource just like anything else, essentially. So that was my sort of the background that started me working on the system. But yeah, I'm having a lot of fun fleshing it out.
What I like about that also is when it comes to character creation for like newer players,
Mhm.
I know I always like I say like, oh, my friends originally when they tried to get me to play the game, it was they just dumped a whole bunch of books on me and said like, all right, first backgrounds, and I was like, just tell me if I'm British, like just tell me the
Just
one
tell
thing I
me
need to
if
know.
I'm British.
Am I vaguely British? You know what I mean? Like what? Give me a character sheet. Like I would prefer to like give me a pre-made and just
Yeah,
whatever, right?
yeah.
But when there's so many options of that, but to go like, hey, roll this and find out how much money you have. Roll this to see how much how lucky you are. Like these kinds of things, predefining those things help somebody make a well-defined character. You know what I mean? So it's like one
Mhm.
of those things where it's going to not only shape things in a mechanical sense, it's going to shape things like in a role play sense too.
Mhm.
And I just love that, because instantly I'm seeing like it's not just it's hard to role play lucky sometimes, but if you roll high on luck, that could be confident. Or are you going to do it funny and be like, oh, I'm going to role play it like bumbling and they get lucky? But then if you role play wealth and then they're high wealth and lucky, are they like, you know what I mean? It's one of those things where the other things are going to help them along the
Mhm.
way. And I know I enjoy when I end up getting something that I wasn't planning for.
Yeah.
And just the elements you've laid out, because you could have just been like, we're just rolling, because rolling for money, that's not crazy.
Mhm.
Rolling for luck, okay, you're getting there, but like the magic potential, all these other things are going to help like shape them.
Yeah.
And it's just it's really, I just see how that, one, the process will be fun, but
Mhm.
also the end result being something like you weren't expecting going in. Oh, I'm gonna make a strong dumb guy. And it's like, okay, but I ended up getting this kinds of stuff, and I might
Mhm.
go this route type of thing, you know?
Well,
And
and
it doesn't feel like you're making them do it. It's
Right.
their choice.
Right. And like one of the things was with the like magic potential thing. Like
Mhm.
I saw it on the faces of two of the players when they rolled real bad on their magic potential, and they were like, "Oh, I wanted to be a caster this time." And so the other thing I did was at the end of rolling those things, like they rolled their influence, their wealth, their luck, and their magical potential. Once all 4 of those were rolled, I also gave them the option. They didn't have to, but I gave them the option of, if you want to, you can re-roll one of those. So if you already have in your head a like, I want to be a caster, and I rolled really bad on that. Like that is totally doable. You can re-roll magic potential and see if you get higher. You could also, if you were like, I got a nat 20 on wealth, and in my head had built out this sort of like traveling like down on his luck sort of character. You could absolutely re-roll wealth if you wanted to. Same thing goes for any of the others. One of the players re-rolled their influence, and ended up getting a nat 20 on influence of like they are like their name will be known. Like if anybody knows their name, that name
That could be
will
good or
apply to
bad.
things.
That could be lucky or unlucky at that point. Yeah.
Well, and I see Davy Jones is in the chat, and Davy Jones is one of the players, so I don't want to give too much away, but I will say, because he is here, and like I'll give a little
Avoid
thing
seafood,
here.
and then you wink.
No, but he is here, so I will give a little bonus because he's in the chat. Like just because you have a high influence or a low influence, that doesn't always mean that that is a something that is going to be like I have a nat 20 in influence, so I'm going to like always get a crazy bonus on every roll to interact with people. If people don't like the name that you get your influence from, that flips. Like you are now a, like, instead of having that +5, you now have a -5. Same thing goes for like if you are a like a nobody. Like if you are a negative influence of like your name is not going to benefit you. In fact, people actively don't like it if you share your name. If you're around other people that are from that sort of same walk of life and stuff, like they may be more inclined to like you than they would somebody who is like of the rich and powerful. So like that was the other part of it, was I didn't want anything on here to be something that was like, oh, you get a negative and it's always a negative, and there's no good outcome for this. I've just given you a bad
terrible.
outcome.
It's terrible for you. Yeah.
Yeah. Even with Lucky, and I'd love to dig into this with you because I would love your thoughts on some of the stuff that I did for Lucky. There are like, if you roll really bad, there are some benefits there. And if you roll really good, you can still push it and then end up okay. So what I did was with Lucky is a straight D20 roll. If you roll a let's see here. If you roll a 9 through 12, that is just average luck. Like no plus, no minus, it's just a 0 on a 9 through 12. On a 7 through 8, it's a -1. On a 4 through 6, it's a -2. On a 2 through 3, it's a -3. On a 13 to 14 plus 1, 15 through 17 plus 2, 18 and 19 plus 3. If you roll a natural 1 or a natural 20, you roll to confirm. So you roll to see like how insanely lucky or how insanely unlucky you are. If you roll to confirm and you get a 16 through 19 after a natural 1, no additional effect. It's just you are an unlucky person. Move on to the next section. If you roll a 2 through 5, you gain 1 point of bad luck, which
Is that the one you do it?
It's like a luck point, but it's a luck point for me against you specifically. Let's see here. If you roll another nat 1 following the original one, you gain the feature God's favorite punching bag. Which you attract bad luck like a magnet. It almost feels like the universe is playing a cruel joke on you. Like some powerful being is just rolling dice to determine what happens, but they roll like shit. You gain 3 points of bad luck and choose either Schadenfreude or hapless fool. Schadenfreude, there is something delicious about watching other people fail. It makes you feel better about your own luck. Anytime one of your companions has a critical failure, you gain my time to shine, which means that the next you gain advantage on your next roll, but if you fail that roll, 1 point of bad luck is restored. You can also you can take the hapless fool. The hapless fool, your consistent bad luck has become comforting to your companions in the midst of chaos. Every time you roll a critical failure, you may grant all allies who witness the failure, at least it's not me, as a reaction. At least it's not me is you may add a d4 to your next d20 roll. So you essentially can give guidance to people every time you roll a nat
That's
1.
fantastic.
Which is like, both of those are very potentially useful. If you roll a nat 20 after rolling the nat 1, your luck, instead of having a -5 to luck rolls, your luck modifier becomes 0, and you gain the feature Live for Extremes. With Live for Extremes, you get to choose either Tempt Fate or you get both Tempt Fate and Tomorrow's Problem. Tempt Fate is you live to tempt fate and push your luck. Anytime you have advantage on a roll, you can choose to instead roll with disadvantage, and if you succeed on the roll, you gain a luck point. If you fail the roll after taking disadvantage, you gain the feature I Thought I Had That, which I Thought I Had That is you lose any luck points that you currently have, and you take a d4 of psychic damage. If you have no luck points, you instead gain 1 bad luck point. Tomorrow's Problem is you constantly attempt to push your bad luck off until later. If you have disadvantage on a roll, you may instead choose to roll it with advantage in exchange for 3 points of bad luck the following day. If you roll with advantage and still fail the roll, you gain the feature Can't Run from Fate, which means you also gain an additional point of bad luck today. On the flip side of that, if you roll a nat 20, you roll to confirm. 2 through 15, there's no additional effect. It's just the +5 bonus to luck rolls. On a 16 through 19, you gain a luck point. On a second roll of 20 following a nat 20, you gain the feature Favorite of the Gods. You live a blessed life. It almost feels like the universe is looking out for you, like some powerful being is rolling dice to determine what happens, and they're always on a hot streak. You gain the lucky feat, and you choose either Good Luck Charm or Unreasonably Blessed. Good Luck Charm is your luck is infectious and bolsters those around you. Anytime you roll a nat 20, you may grant all allies who witness the incredible display Fountain of Luck as a reaction. Fountain of Luck is you have gained some luck by being near your Good Luck Charm. You may add a d4 to your next d20 roll. So it's very similar to the other one. The Unreasonably Blessed is your luck is pushed beyond the bounds of normal luck. Once per day, you can spend all 3 of your luck points to attempt to bend fate. When used, you will lower the DC of the roll by 10 and gain advantage on the check. However, if you fail this check, you gain the feature How Could I Fail, which is that luck has abandoned you and you will gain no more luck points until you have pulled off something truly lucky without them. If you roll a nat 1 following the nat 20, your luck modifier becomes 0 instead of 5, and you gain the feature Live for Extremes, and then you get the same things as if you had rolled the nat 20 after the nat 1 of Tomorrow's Problem and Tempt Fate. So that is the basics of the rolls, the luck system. It only gets real weird if people are rolling like a nat 20 by a nat 20 or a nat 1 followed by a nat 1 and stuff. Or the like extremes of like rolls a 1 followed by a nat 20 or rolls a 20 followed by a nat 1. But like in the middle there, you've got just bonuses to like things. So it could be that like I just ask for a straight luck check of like let's see, roll a flat luck check. You have a 18 in luck, so that's a +3 d20 +3. Go ahead and roll it. They roll it, we see what happens. It could also be that like you're trying to do something else of like cheating at cards or something like that, where it's like I'm going to have you do a sleight of hand check, but you are very lucky, so you get to add +3 to this on top of your sleight of hand. Or the other way around of like you're trying to do something and it's like you're going to try and do this, but you are very unlucky, so like you are going to also get this like -2 to your roll. That's kind of the vibe that I'm looking for from it.
What I like, and what it's funny, what I like is when it's like, oh, you're gonna get a minus to it. You could have. It's better than like keeping track of it on your own. But like, if it's, oh, you're unlucky, it's almost like on your end, I just have to add 2 to the DC or something like that. You know what I mean? With the minus, they're at least aware of how unlucky they are, and they'll see it themselves. So it's that difference of them having the reaction on the front end of the roll, where it's like I see it and they're like, dang it, or on the back end, like, is that enough? Because then they're gonna like just because then they know you're subtracting something from the back end. So it's a matter of how nice you are to your players. I really like that you get luck points against them. Like,
I'm really sad that nobody rolled a 1 on their luck check, and I am genuinely sad about it.
I've told you about how I use DM inspiration like against me, right? Have I told you about that?
No, I don't think so.
Somebody, I forgot, a friend of mine did this one time, and I've used it as my main table rule all the time. When I give inspiration, you can use to give yourself advantage on something, or give me disadvantage on something. So it's kind of like that's your inspiration. You remember that one?
It's essentially a luck point, but you have to use it.
Essentially a luck point.
Yeah.
But you can use it like to make me re-roll an attack roll, or you know what I mean? Like, so I've had players turn like a hit that would hit into a nat 1. They're like, yeah, we did it. I wish there was a way to award DM inspiration to the DM, because
Mhm.
that's how that like does that pool always go up and down, you know what I mean? When it comes to certain like trackable resources, it's like what gets used, what's going to be saved all the time. You're baking it in, so it's like it's going to be their thing. They don't have to like worry about like constantly did I use this or not like that. But
Mhm.
you have it each day, it can go up and down. You know what I mean? So it's that thing where it's not so much where okay, they're going to never use them because they know they're getting some back. What I'm saying is, how can we screw them over more if they get real lucky? Like, how, it's like I really like it when we get like those little bonuses. I
Yeah.
want us as the DMs to get more bonuses as well.
Yeah.
We're
Yeah.
not players. It's not about us. But what's good about those things are it's that fun moment of we're not the bad guy.
Mhm.
The dice, the system, the situation is bad, and then they get mad at the world,
Right.
the situation. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it's not it's a jerk when you decide I have to use this luck die against you type of thing, but it's those things where it's just like you're using it that moment, but it's because they rolled badly. It's not,
Mhm.
you know what I mean? You're just, oh, I'm breaking you down because it's like this is that thing you rolled. You rolled unlucky. Like this is
Yeah.
what is the most unlucky situation that could happen?
Well, and the
mhm.
other thing that kind of like goes into that is like they rolled for lucky, but that means that lucky is now just a thing that other people can have as well. So you can have a like, okay, this person who's attacking is insanely lucky. Like that is just a trait that I have given this other person, so they can do like luck stuff. Of like it's almost a way to give a like a lower level enemy a like not like a legendary action, but
Yeah.
okay, and they're gonna burn one of their luck points, and it's like, why does this person have luck points? And it's like they're a very lucky, like they're a lucky person. They're like they're gonna try and make a lucky shot. You could also then have enemies who are like incredibly unlucky of just like I would love to have at some point like a bad guy that they're like going off after the bad guy, and the bad guy just like goes up to like monologue and just like trips and like impales himself on his sword, and he's just like ugh, and then just stops moving, and they're like, so did we win? And then somebody else like picks up the sword and goes after them, is like, I will carry on his mantle. And like that's just the bit is that the guy like died right at the beginning. I think that's very funny. The
That's really good.
but like it becomes just another stat. Like if I am putting this into play as like luck, influence, wealth, those are all things that like other people can have access to. Like you may encounter people who are like, yeah, that they have a very, very high influence, and so they're able to like make things happen a little bit easier on their end. They're able to like move things in a way that is more conducive to their strategy. But like the luck, I think, is a very easy resource for both sides to use.
Yeah.
Like if I'm a lucky person, I'm gonna get those lucky rolls and stuff. The other thing with this, and I want to run this by you. If you were a player in this game and you rolled these things, and Davy Jones is still around, I think. So, Davy Jones,
Leave.
you
He just
can
told me to leave.
you can weigh in here as well because you are in this game. But if you were in this game, you rolled for these things at the beginning, and then there was a mechanic in the game and in the story that could make you that could essentially reset your luck of like your luck is going to change. Essentially, you are going to re-roll your luck to see like what things are like now going forward. Is that a mechanic that is uh annoying for people who like already rolled well, but exciting for players who rolled poorly. Is that a mechanic that is just kind of like meh? Is it just frustrating to everybody that like the luck that they rolled at the beginning isn't going to stick? Because my thought process was like, uh, I like if I'm playing a very unlucky character, like I could see that becoming a thing that I want to like play into as my role play of like he's unlucky. But at the same time, it would get annoying to always have like negatives that I'm working with and stuff like that. On the other side, if I have built a character around the fact that they are lucky and then I re-roll and now they're not, like that's frustrating as well. But I see I as a player would be like, ooh, I can build like I can do this for a story thing of like I'm a lucky character and I'm not anymore. And like what does that mean? Or I've always been unlucky, and then all of a sudden I'm doing incredibly well.
I've just written an entire anime plot in my brain. What now here's the thing. You're writing everything and you're doing it on your end,
Yeah.
right? You're
Yeah.
doing it on like this is the mechanical and this is for us, and then you're making it like a high fantasy, a D&D, whatever the setting is going to be, you know, the specifics. But what if it was a world of luck?
Mm.
What if everybody is aware and it's not a mechanic or an item or magic or something like that resets or something? What if people are aware of luck and there are things to bolster or hinder luck? Lucky
Hmm.
charms are not like, oh, a wives' tale they're commodities. Imagine a guy loaded with rabbit's foots and four-leaf clovers, and you're like, that guy's
Rabbit
unlucky.
rabbits have gone extinct because people have
Yo, for
hunted
real,
them.
like they're
Yeah.
endangered or extinct
Yeah.
because people have hunted them. And then like it's just and when you see it like that, it's either that guy's very lucky because he's loaded up and he's made his luck whatever else. But
Yeah.
then you make it so the luck stat isn't just like static, it now can
Mm.
fluctuate.
So
Or that guy's
if
so
you're an
unlucky.
incredibly unlucky person, you can get like a rabbit's foot and a horseshoe and a four-leaf clover. And
You see somebody loaded up and you're like, that guy's either really lucky or so unlucky he's trying to make himself normal.
right, yeah.
He's trying to
That
make
guy,
himself
every person that person has ever met has had like a tragedy befall him, and it's his fault because he's so
and, like,
unlucky.
I've already thought of like, okay, it's like, oh, is that permanent? It's like, no. I imagine something very simple of like, if the lucky charm touches the ground, it ceases to be lucky. If you picked a four-leaf clover, it's now with you. If that thing touches the ground again, it's not lucky anymore.
Mm-hmm.
That's how you that's how you make somebody unlucky. You swap the stuff off of them, type of thing. But then it becomes something where they can get luckier, unluckier, but it's not, I'm stuck with this. You know what I mean? Or there's temporary,
Yeah.
there's luck potions like Felix Felice, like,
Yeah.
oh, this will
Yeah.
make you lucky for 15 minutes. This will make you lucky for a half hour. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But it's you like messing with the magic systems. It's like, well, you're already messing with the luck system. Make them aware of it. Like
Yeah.
the world is aware
like
of it.
the world
and
is
it's not.
allowed. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like it's a world of monsters, magic, and luck.
Yeah.
It just like I wrote this entire anime plot where it was just like full blown, like, I imagine the person, he's wealthy and he's rabbit's feet with four-leaf clovers, like a horseshoe is on the back of the necklace to hold the rest of the thing, and then it's just like and it's like that guy's either really lucky and he's just making himself more lucky,
Mm-hmm.
or he's so unlucky he has to like keep himself, and I say to say normal. Like
Yeah.
an average person has luck or unluck, but then if you have wealth or if you were born with bad luck, it's gonna snowball. Like it can snowball.
Yeah.
Luck is like a windfall where it can go either way, and it's a precarious balance to just remain normal. And
Yeah.
keep
Well, and
buoyancy.
you have like the other way as well of like walking under a ladder, a black cat walking
Mhm.
across your path, a breaking a mirror. Like you have those like, oh, like, yeah, luck is a very real like magical force. And if you are not like if you are not careful, if you are not like making sure to balance things, you are in danger of like
Yeah.
going to one of the extremes. And I would assume the average person is like desperately just wants to be zero plus and like
Yeah,
I
just
don't
like-
I don't want
yeah.
the because good luck attracts attention.
Yeah, exactly.
Like people, if you are
just
a
wanna be-
naturally lucky
Ride the
person,
line.
like imagine somebody who is just like a regular person who's just like I don't want to be noticed and is like like nat has a nat 20 of luck and is just like going out and being like, okay, I'm going to have this black cat walk in front of me. I'm gonna run under an umbrella, a ladder. I'm gonna open an umbrella inside. I'm gonna shatter this mirror just to get their luck down to like normal.
I just imagine like what if certain luck things like good or bad luck have been like debunked, or what if like some are wives tale, because it'd be so funny if it was just like like rabbits were hunted to extinction before people realized that their feet weren't lucky, like something like once enough years had passed by and enough magic and technology could really measure luck. Like what if there's a capacity to measure luck, and then people realize that that guy has wearing a lot of rabbit's feet, but like technically we found out, 45 years ago that they're not lucky anymore. So you like that's why there's no rabbits. But like I imagine a starting quest being helping a child keep their black cat because everybody's trying to get rid of it.
Everybody's
And-
like, that's clearly
just see
like
the-
this is a curse. This is a curse.
And you
thing.
just see
Yeah.
the little girl trying to dye her cat red and give it a collar of clovers, trying to go like, it's not unlucky, it's just my cat. And then
Yeah.
and just like trying to like convince everybody like, yo, that was debunked like 80 years
Yeah.
ago. Like that was like one of the first things that people figured out wasn't like, something like that. Or like, oh, it's only
Yeah.
like 1 in 10 cats is unlucky.
Yeah.
And it could be any color. Like it's not just the black cats. It could be any
tobacco-
color cat is a jerk.
A tabaxi that bleaches his fur because he's been seen as an unlucky symbol his whole life.
Yeah. Yeah. It's one of those things where it's like, it's also lucky and unlucky for those things. So it's just like, no, it's not just black cats. It's literally like 1 in 20 cats. One of them can just be unlucky. I think back in the day, it just was a black cat and everybody assumed it was all of them. My cat's not the unlucky type. Trust me.
Right.
Please don't kill my cat.
Because cats can also be lucky.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
It's
Like,
just
not, 9 lives and always lands on their feet. Like that's a lucky creature.
That's what I'm saying. You know
yeah.
what I mean? But it's one of those things where it's like you would be able to use your luck system like more. Now that's going to make more work for you, because then it's like, all right, you could have items that give you a +1 or +2, and if you make it that it's so easy for them to lose their luck, then it's like you run the odds of like they could be stacking them until like high heaven, like they're maxed out. But then it's like, yo, someone disarmed your, like, oh, you put like a clover on your sword and that's how you're going to get the plus to, what I mean? It needs to be somewhere. You can't just like permanently in a bag, whatever. Like it needs to be on you, like some mechanic for it. It needs to see air. It needs to touch air.
Almost like an attunement as well. Like you could only have so many lucky tokens.
Well, that's your max number. Like, you know what I mean? Like whatever your high threshold number is, it's just like, yeah, you can keep literally wear like a 4-leaf clover suit of armor, but like you're going to hit that max number, whatever the equivalent of your 20 is, you know what I mean? But something where like it needs to breathe this, like I think that the luck needs to breathe the same air as you, because then it needs to be kept out, and that's where it's the danger. It can fall down, it can be taken, it can be swatted away, it can be cut away, whatever the situation is. But why somebody couldn't just put it in a little like iron flask in their pocket and then they'll never lose it? You know what I mean? Like how could they lose that luck? Because you're lucky, but that doesn't mean you're infallible.
What do you think of like +5 from luck, like what you would get from rolling a nat 20 on luck, is the max threshold for how lucky someone can be. And different lucky charms will like boost your luck by 1 or whatever. So if you are a you rolled a nat 1, you have a -5 to your luck. You would need like 10 lucky charms hanging off of you to achieve the same amount of luck as like the nat 20 person,
Yeah.
which then is going to be like, okay, like I can't have a like just 10 four-leaf clovers. Like you can only have one of any given lucky charm. Like a four-leaf clover is not gonna last forever, like and so you've got like
that's good
these,
too. Yeah,
these
like if it's
different things.
organic, like maybe it won't last forever. I think like, you know, if you're just gonna
Some things
Since
would
you're-
be just like better for it. Like jade is supposed to be lucky. Having like a jade totem that you carry with you is would be like just the highest form of luck, because it's like that's not gonna break. It's gonna hold that that luck to it. Like,
and we already know that you like stacking, so I think that this would be, so to not overwhelm somebody, really simple. Like if they find a clover, they got a this or whatever, you just on the back end doing a roll and you go even amongst that. Like if we know that if it's like 3 or 4 tiers, like the 1 to 5, 5 to 10, like like you divide like a 4 tier situation. If
mhm.
you just on your end roll a d4 and go, this is only a tier 2 clover, this is a you know what I mean, like even then, so like, you know what I mean, just give it something where it's like whatever points it could give, it's just like you feel it's doing something, but it's just like, oh, you're wearing like low quality clovers, like, you know, you're better, but like you don't tell them that. Like it's one of those,
Right.
what's good about the luck system is it's another stat where they can go, I have this, if you do it a
Right.
world where they're aware of their luck, because it's hard to quantify it in a way where it's just like you can't tell somebody like, you know, it's like, oh well, I'll do it because I'm lucky, and then somebody else can go, what do you mean you're lucky? But in this world, it's like literally like, I'm this smart, I'm this strong, I'm this lucky, and people go, yo, you're literally luckier than me.
Mhm.
Like it is a known fact that
Right.
you are luckier than me, type of thing. Just giving them those things where it's just like, all right, you're really lucky, all right, I'm gonna give you my family heirloom, this is the luckiest horseshoe on the planet, like I'm going to give this to you, do not let it touch the ground. Like something where it's like, don't let it come in contact with cilantro. Cilantro
really
will
love that.
disengage this.
Yeah.
Cilantro will nullify this. It's very specific.
Yeah.
Cilantro will kill this horse. Cilantro will nullify this luck. So
Yeah.
please don't let cilantro touch this.
This lucky charm will only work, like this is the lucky charm that was from like a devout monastery somewhere or something like that, and if you have even a touch of alcohol, it will like remove the luck from this thing.
I think that it'd be cool that if it's not the same thing for everything,
yeah.
and it's like, and it's letting them know that either in the same way you would let them know anything else with a high roll, or if like they just so happen to have enough someone there to know it, but then like they don't know that touching a banana is gonna just nullify this lucky piece of fabric, like something dumb.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Where
I
it's
like
just
the concept of,
you know,
the one you said right off the bat of like it can't touch the ground. I like as
that's
a general rule of lucky charms, of like lucky charms, once they have touched the ground, are no longer lucky. Because if you think about it, like
except for money,
except for money,
except for a lucky penny,
which has
then
to
it's
have touched the ground.
but
Yeah.
if it touches the ground after you, it's not lucky for you again.
Yeah, you can't pick, which is why you'll find one on the ground, is that you, like, the person
Somebody
who dropped
it's
it
like, I can't
back
do
up.
anything with it now.
Yeah.
No, I mean, you can. It's just not.
Right.
It's done for you.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's just
It's
like
just a normal copper piece.
It's not for anybody else. Yeah.
I like that a lot.
No, we should definitely touch on this, or actually like hammer some stuff out. Like I want to help you hammer some stuff out, because I, once again, like I said, as soon as I switched to an anime plot, I was like, hold on, bro. I thought of an entire ecosystem that's like on their end, because once you make them know it, it's gamified. It's gamified, but also like you can role play and understand mental fatigue if I have low like intelligence, like, oh, I'm tired, my constitution, my dexterity, my strength is low, I'm winded, I have a low constitution. How do you role play or show I have low luck?
Yeah.
Do you look depressed? Like, I don't know, like, you know what I mean? Just that fun little, like, they look like somebody that's not lucky,
Right.
what does that mean? You know, it's like their clothes are shabby. Like, what is
Yeah.
going on here? Because it can mean just so many. There's so many ways that you could like, so many elements you could flavor things.
Yeah. You see one boot is like caked in mud, the other foot has isn't wearing a shoe, but the sock is a little wet. There's like 4 different stains of mustard on the front of their shirt. Like you just start listing off like minor unlucky things.
I think that there's so many little, like, I would when you said like one boot was caked in mud, I feel like fishing a boot out of a river. I don't know if somebody said that was lucky or not one time, but I just imagine like a monk, right? And it's wearing 2 boots. One is muddy, one is pristine. And you're like, okay, that's weird. But it's like, oh no, that's his lucky boot, right? And it's just like, because I was just like, touching the ground, I think would nullify so much of the magic, but there's always like exceptions to every rule type of thing. And it's like, they're a boot. They're known for having the sweetest kicks. It's just like and it's like that boot is always slightly cleaner than the other one. That's their lucky boot that they fished out of a river. They're mismatched. They're mismatched boots. You're like, why is he walking around with that one thicker boot than the other one? That's weird. But like, oh man, they're really lucky. It was a real lucky boot.
The side of the boot is like sliced open because it's like clearly too small for this guy's foot, and so like his toes are just kind of sticking out the sides of it.
But it's still really lucky. You're like,
still
that
lucky.
seems not good. It's like, no, trust me, it's like.
I like
what's
that a
unlucky
lot.
is that we're over time.
We are.
But I do want to like circle back to this at some point.
Yeah, I'm down.
And on the back end, I want to touch on it. I got to piece out, but
yeah.
This is going to be. I'm excited for you. This is like
I'm very excited.
I like the numbers and adding a new thing that I can add a new role play element off the top.
Yeah.
The potential for were you planning on the world being so aware of luck on the front end?
It fits in pretty well with stuff that I already have planned, so I'm definitely down to roll with that.
Because I don't want it to be like change your entire game, you know what I mean? But like it just kind of would actually make things easier for you, I think.
Yeah, I think the way that I would go about it would be that it's not so much that like it wouldn't be something that like everybody is obsessed with this of like everybody is pursuing good luck, everybody is like attempting to do what is or isn't lucky and like getting lucky charms and stuff like that. But I think overall it's just it is a known force, and the majority of people are like neither lucky or unlucky. They may have a lucky charm or something like that, but like it's gonna be a specific, I'm going to go, like, I'm in a field and I plucked a clover and like the rest of the day was really good, so like I've always kept that clover with me. Like I think that the majority of people would treat luck similarly to the majority of us, of like we're like some people are lucky, some people are unlucky. Like if I develop a superstition based around a specific set of dice or something like that, like I'm gonna follow those. But I think that because if we go the other extreme, then you hit the like there are whole markets that are devoted to nothing but lucky charms, and like
it's like a high magic or a low magic fantasy setting. Then you'd be a high luck or a low luck situation where it's like low luck is like superstition. Some people say some people are lucky or their items lucky. If I personally would ride it that middle ground of like like the way I use magic, where it's like there's magic, everybody knows of it. But whether or not everybody encounters it, magic items, there's probably something somewhere. But is there like a shop that has everything? You know what I mean? I know it's real easy to switch into the high blank of whatever it is. Like, there's a ton of magic or ton of luck.
Well,
but
and especially in the situation in like the game I have planned, magic is going to be a little bit weird. Like there's some superstition and stuff like that around magic. So I think that this kind of like works well in that sort of vibe of like magic as a whole isn't really trusted, and luck seems like another form of magic. And so if people are like, I don't trust magic, but since I started wearing this horseshoe as a necklace, like my joints don't ache anymore. Like there's a level of like luck is the magic that everyday people use. Like they're not using like grand spells. They're just kind of like I have this lucky charm. It keeps me safe. And like not pursuing anything larger than that. But yeah, I like that a lot, man. That's very good. Also, just to address it verbally instead of typing it out, something to think about: what makes a rabbit's foot lucky. If you possess a dead rabbit's foot and it's lucky, was the rabbit really lucky since it's dead? I feel like part of luck is having I personally don't feel that items are inherently lucky or like things are inherently lucky. I think that people create their own luck when they believe that something they have is lucky. And so if a rabbit's foot is widely believed to be lucky and you have one, you might feel like you are luckier than if you don't have one. So you might do something that would be like you'd have to think you were a little bit lucky in order to try it, but then it works. Not necessarily because the item is magic, but because you were willing to try that thing that you wouldn't have tried if you weren't thinking you were a little bit lucky. It's very similar to like the in Harry Potter, Harry like gives pretends to give the potion to Ron, and then Ron is like amazing at Quidditch because he thinks he can't possibly fail. But like he didn't
manifesting it.
Yeah, he's manifesting his own luck. It's very much in that same spirit. So like the lucky items hold the belief that they are lucky. So if you pour that sort of luck into them, they feel lucky to you. Which is also why like an item that you have might not be lucky for me, and vice versa. But like I have a set of dice that I have labeled the player killers. Or the character killers, sorry, because the first character that I ever played with them, it was my first ever D&D character. I rolled insane things with those dice. Like I rolled incredibly well with those dice the entire time I played him. The moment I had stopped playing that character and moved on to a new character, those dice were cursed. I could not roll well for anything. 3 different characters have died at the hands of those dice. And at one point the other people that played at my table knew the reputation of those dice, and so I had them in this like little chest
Labeled?
that was like sitting in my like game room. And if I was running a boss fight or something like that, I would make a big show of like walking over and taking those dice down, and those are the dice that I was going to use for that person because they rolled insanely well when attacking characters. But there was that belief in the lucky or unlucky nature of that thing, which is the only reason that it is like that is then attributed to it. Like I'm sure I have other dice that have resulted in worse situations than those dice have, but there was a lore and myth that grew around them when I would use them at my table. We are over time. We will absolutely need to come back
I'm here for
to
it.
talk about this more because I love the idea of this. Okay. Thank you all so much for coming out and hanging out with us. Thanks for being here this morning. Have a great rest of your week. We will be back on Friday for more of our regularly scheduled nonsense. Until then, let's see. Until then,
Tell us what we need to do for the week, Hunter. Tell us the 3 things that we need to make sure we're gonna do this week.
Go find a black cat, and then just give it little scritches behind the ear and let it know that you know it's not unlucky. Go to a where there's a lot of clover and just sit in the clover and like look for a 4-leaf clover. See if you can find one. If you find one, tweet a picture of it at us. And then let's see here. Every day this week, find a little like weird trinket or item or something like that in your house, and just like carry it around all day, and see if you feel lucky from that item. See if you get a see if you find a lucky item just sitting in your house that you didn't know. And if you do, let us know what the item was and why it was lucky. Have a great week, everybody. We'll be back on Friday. Until then, enjoy your week. Embrace the nonsense. And I hope you feel lucky. Have a good one. Bye, guys.